Alright, it's time I said it. The Sens suck, they're garbage, they're trash, they're terrible, they're horrible, they're awful, they're any bad word you can think of. I mean, the truth is they're just bereft of talent, but I'm getting really tired of this. Hello, darkness, my old friend. You've come to talk with me again. Sens lose 6-3 to the Florida Panthers. How are the young guys now? I finally did it! I scored again! Quit taking penalties! The Sens are gonna blow this game! Way to tie up the stick in front. Not. Well done. Just well done. You better believe we're gonna be having a penalty chat at the end of this one. What a time to be alive! What a long and brutal season that was. This team, man! So how about that for a second period? The Sens come into this game, the last time they play the Panthers, they lose 6-1. They get outscored 5-1 in the second period, and they come in saying, hey, I know we were bad the last time, and I know we need to be better this time, and we're going to be. Then they go out, they give up a goal in the first 2 minutes, they finally play some decent hockey for a while, then after the second goal, they quit playing, come out in the second, get outscored 4-0, and the game's done! This is the second time the Sens have played the Panthers so far this season. In those two games have been outscored 12-4. Take out the second period where the Sens have been outscored 9-1, and it's a 3-3 tie. Now do you know why I'm so angry? Oh, but it's all for the betterment of the team and nothing betterment about this! That's garbage! Let's just get into lineup changes. The Sens kept their lineup changes to a relative minimum for this contest, making just 2 moves. The first came in goal where Craig Anderson went back into the goal in place of Marcus Hogberg, who played against Pittsburgh on the second night of a back-to-back. And the other lineup change saw recently recalled Rudolph Balcers come into the lineup in place of J.C. Baudin, who was recently reassigned to Belleville. So Balcers and Andy are in, while Baudin and Hogberg come out. The rest of the lineup stays the same. Some other roster moves also happened with the Sens over the last 24 hours, with the team acquiring Mike Riley from Montreal, but we'll address that at the beginning of the next video in that lineup segment. As for this game, it didn't take long for the Sens to find themselves in a hole. Because barely a minute into the contest, Mark Borowiecki gets called for slashing, and on the ensuing power play, Dadonov beats Anderson, and 1:41 into the first period, Florida leads 1-0. So, this goal right here was a perfect microcosm of the Sens' season so far this year. Golubev isn't really covering his guy, but he's close enough. Then the Panthers throw a cross-ice pass, and Golubev is standing in the way. The puck bounces off the front of his skate, he spins it, bounces off the back, goes through the skate holder, slides across the ice to Dadonov, who then has a wide open net and tucks it away to make it 1-0. Who else but the Sens? Fortunately, that goal seems to wake the Sens up, and around the midway mark of the period, they finally get on the board. Nick Paul feeds Tyler Ennis near the side of the net. He cuts towards the middle of the ice, fires a backhand on goal. It hits the stick of Stillman, goes straight up in the air. Bobrovsky's kind of fishing for it, goes over top of him, lands down, rolls in the net, and we're tied at 1. Alright, so tit for tat. We're even now. And then with just under 4.5 minutes left in the period, the Sens strike again. Anthony Duclair and Chris Tierney race in 2-on-1. Duclair makes a nifty little feed cross ice to Tierney. He absolutely rifles one into the top shelf, and just like that, it's 2-1 Sens. Seriously, as great a pass as that Duclair pass was, and it was great, I could not get over that shot from Tierney. We don't see Tierney score a lot of goals, and we don't see him shoot the puck a ton. That was an incredible shot. That shot gave the Sens the lead, and they took that into the first intermission. And when they came out in the second, looked like a team who thought the game was over. The Panthers absolutely dominate the second period, and finally get a power play with just under 9 minutes gone in the period, and tie the game. Dadonov feeds Huberdeau, Huberdeau goes back to Dadonov, Dadonov rifles a one-timer by Andy, and it's 2-2. And at this point, who's your daddy? It's Dadonov! Who's your daddy? It's Dadonov! That's 2 power play goals for Dadonov, less than halfway through the game. And speaking of the midway mark, just past the game's midway mark, the Panthers score again and take their final lead of the hockey game. Christian Jaros breaks his stick. Colin White gives him his. White isn't able to get another one. The Panthers have a 5-on-4 in the end zone. They absolutely dominate the zone, move the puck all around. Achari's wide open front. The puck comes to Achari. He bangs it in the wide open net, and it's 3-2 Florida. And the Sens get globe-trotted again. I know Colin White didn't have a stick, but it happens way too much, stick or not. And then the game goes from bad to oh so much worse. With 52 seconds left in the period, the Panthers race in 2-on-1. Dadonov feeds Vetrano. He absolutely rockets a one-timer by Anderson, and it's 4-2 Panthers. There's that Dadonov fella again. And then with under 5 seconds left in the period, the Sens think the period's over, but it's very not. Brady Tkachuk can't get the puck out. He gets the puck stolen. Then Eric Brandstrom loses a puck battle and falls down in the corner. Pissick feeds Sevier. He beats Andy, and it's 5-2 Panthers. And this game is over. Fortunately, despite the Sens giving up 2 goals in the final minute, they don't make it 3, and we head to the third with the game still 5-2 Florida. The Sens at least sort of try to come back in the third, but can't find the back of the net until the game is long over. With under 3 minutes left in the game, Ennis gets the puck, wheels behind the net, does a spin around pass to the back door. Bobrovsky is now totally fooled looking the wrong way. Connor Brown fires it in the empty net, and it's 5-3 Florida. What a terrific pass by Tyler Ennis. This guy is really starting to grow on me as a Sen. But the goal really didn't mean much of anything, because about a minute later, Ottawa pulls their goalie, Huberdeau hits the empty net, and it's 6-3 Florida. There's that free goal thing again! Fortunately, Ottawa doesn't give any more free goals away, and that's how the game ends. The Florida Panthers skate away with a 6-3 win. And it's all thanks to that second period! Let's just get into good news, bad news. Last night was an anniversary of sorts, and that is the good news. I have to admit, last night's game didn't make me very happy, but during the game, a happy moment happened. As I was reminded yesterday, it was the 21st anniversary of Damian Rhodes becoming the first goalie in NHL history to score a goal and post a shutout in the same game. And generally, those things it's kind of like, yeah, so who cares? It's a neat little thing to have happen, but doesn't really affect me. Except this one actually does. A little 7-year-old Chris was sitting in the 300 section behind Damian Rhodes for that exact game. I actually remember the goal pretty well. Ottawa takes a penalty. Lyle Odeline tries to pass the puck back to the blue line. It misses everybody, goes all the way down the ice. Brodeur is sitting on the bench for the extra attacker, slides into the empty net, and Damian Rhodes has a goal. It's one of my earliest memories, and not likely something I'm soon to forget. Oh, and I'm pretty sure that was my first ever NHL game. Not a bad first time, huh? And ironically enough, that shutout was the last Damian Rhodes would ever record in Ottawa. Admittedly, that part might be a little depressing, but the fact that the Sens are celebrating that anniversary last night made me feel a little better about last night's game, and that is the good news. Now, for the bad news. Ottawa's second period was just atrocious last night, and that is the bad news. Let's be honest though, even if you allow the first 2 goals, the Sens are still in fine position. It's a 3-2 hockey game. It was the last minute where things completely fell apart. The third Panthers goal of the period, it's kind of like, yeah, alright, you got beat on a 2-on-1. But that fourth goal, everybody's falling down, everybody's turning the puck over, everybody's losing puck battles, nobody's covering the front of the net. It was just awful. And honestly, as big a glutton for punishment as I am, I darn near turned that game off after that. I was angry. And yeah, I was angry about that fourth goal, but I was also angry about the entire second period because the Sens were just awful. And that is the bad news. Next up, the Sens return to action tomorrow evening when they welcome the Tampa Bay Lightning to the Canadian Tire Center. That contest will be the third of 4 meetings on the season between the two teams, with the Sens holding a narrow edge in head-to-head play thanks to picking up 3 of 4 points, while Tampa Bay has just 2 of 4 points. Each team has a win, each team has a loss, but the Sens pushed their loss to overtime. And that overtime came about 2 or 3 weeks ago and saw Thomas Chabot play nearly 38 minutes. Oh, and Kucherov also got benched in that game. Kucherov's not getting benched in this game. At least I don't expect he's going to. And if Chabot plays 38 minutes again, this game is going to be a nightmare. Oh, and the Lightning have also won 5 in a row and have climbed their way back into a divisional playoff spot. So please show up with your best effort. Something tells me the Sens are going to get thumped again. That's it for this video. Hit like if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share it with anybody you know, and today's question is, let's do something a little different. Give me your prediction for the game tomorrow night. Let me know down below what it is, and we'll see you tomorrow night when the Sens host the Tampa Bay Lightning.